After death, how long does a soul continue to exist on this planet? There are questions that have haunted humanity since the dawn of time. Questions whispered under breath beside candlelit altars, scribbled in sacred texts, and wept over at countless gravesides. Perhaps the most enduring of them all is this: what becomes of the soul when the body breathes its final breath? It is a question that crosses all cultures, all faiths, and all moments of grief. And yet, despite the passing of centuries and the rise and fall of civilizations, it remains as mysterious and as captivating as ever. In the film we are about to watch today, we will step into the heart of this enigma. We will explore one of the most intimate, profound, and emotionally charged subjects imaginable: the journey of the soul after death. Where does the soul go once it departs the body? Why do some spirits move on effortlessly, slipping into the light like a gentle sigh, while others linger, restless, tethered to the world they left behind? What holds them here? Unfinished stories, unresolved emotions, or perhaps fear of what lies beyond the veil? Death is unpredictable, often sudden, and always cloaked in mystery. It offers few certainties and leaves behind a trail of aching questions that seem to have no final answer. And yet, there are glimpses, whispers from the other side, spiritual encounters, ancient teachings that suggest we are not entirely blind in the dark. Together, if we dare to look beyond the veil with open hearts and curious minds, we may catch a glimpse of what truly happens when the silver thread is cut. This silver thread, ethereal and unseen, is believed in many traditions to be the sacred connection between the soul and the physical form, a lifeline that stretches from birth until the very moment of death. When this thread is severed, the body returns to the earth, and the soul, now unbound, begins a new chapter in its existence. For most, this transition is serene, like drifting off to sleep and awakening in a place of warmth, love, and radiant light. It is said that the soul rises, leaving behind earthly burdens, ascending to a realm where peace flows like a river, and harmony is as natural as breath. But not all souls find this transition easy. Some remain in the spaces between. They wander, unseen but felt, heard only in quiet moments, or when the wind seems to speak our name. These are the restless ones, the lost souls. They may be bound by sorrow, unable to part from a loved one. They may be gripped by guilt, regret, or unfinished business. Or they may simply be afraid of judgment, of the unknown, or of letting go. They hover at the edges of this world, between the living and the departed, seeking closure, seeking peace. Today, we will explore these spirits. We'll learn how to recognize their presence, understand what makes them linger, and most importantly, discover how we might help them find their way home. Through this journey, we'll come to understand that these lost souls are not threats or omens, but echoes of stories unfinished, and sometimes even sources of protection or messages that can guide the living. We'll also delve into the ways the departed continue to communicate with us. Sometimes it's a sudden scent that reminds us of someone long gone. Sometimes it's a dream so vivid it feels like a visit. Other times it's a soft voice inside when we need it most. These connections, strange, comforting, inexplicable, are not mere figments of our imagination. They are bridges between realms. Through them, the departed offer comfort, guidance, and reminders that love does not end with death. This is not just a ghost story, this is a soul story. As we embark on this mystical journey together, let us open our hearts to the possibility that death is not the end of the soul's voyage, but merely a doorway, a transformation, a new beginning. Understanding this helps us not only face our own mortality with greater peace, but also allows us to hold space for those who have already crossed over. We can become their witnesses, their companions, and even their helpers. Death, in its most sacred form, is not a loss, but a return. It is the soul stepping out of its temporary shell and into the boundless light of another reality, one shaped not by form, but by energy, intention, and vibration. In this transition, the soul is said to become lighter, freer, more aligned with its truest self. And for those who can let go, who have made peace, that journey is one of immense beauty. But for those who are caught between, we still have a role to play. Through remembrance, prayer, ritual, and love, we can light their path. We can offer closure not just for ourselves, but for them. Because sometimes all a lost soul needs is to be seen, to be heard, and to be gently told, you are free now. It's time to go home. This new level is referred to as the home of the soul, and it is a location where the soul is able to continue its life without being constrained by bodily constraints. It is possible for these souls to continue to grow and learn, as well as to assist other souls on their journey. On the other hand, not every soul is able to depart the terrestrial realm with such ease. There are a lot of contributing factors that might make the process of transitioning more difficult or time-consuming. There are certain souls that continue to be connected to the happenings of persons on Earth. One possible explanation for this is the presence of strong emotional links, such as love, attachment to family, or fear for loved ones who are staying behind. It is possible that souls that experience these sentiments will remain on Earth for a longer period of time since they have a tough time leaving mundane affairs and elevating themselves to another level. The delay in soul transition can often be attributed to sentiments of guilt or issues that have not been resolved inside the individual. Even if a person's life was filled with profound regrets, if they were unable to finish essential matters, or if they were unable to forgive someone, their spirit may continue to exist in this world in order to try to find a solution. For these souls to be able to progress into the light and release themselves from their attachments, they require assistance. It is common for a medium or spirit guide to step in and assist the soul in completing its trip on Earth and achieving a state of peace in situations like these. It is also possible for souls to be unaware of the fact that they are no longer residing in their physical body. Ignoring the fact that they have passed on, they continue to live their lives and may continue to exist on the terrestrial plane until they become aware of their new existence. These souls frequently require the assistance of a spiritual guide in order to comprehend that their journey on Earth has come to an end and that they must proceed to the next stage of their lives. It is essential that we have a clear understanding that time does not exist for the soul after death in the manner that we are accustomed to hearing it. As soon as the spirit departs from the body, it enters a universe in which time does not proceed in a linear fashion. Consequently, it is difficult to ascertain the precise length of time that a soul can continue to exist on Earth. As far as we are concerned, it might appear to be a considerable amount of time. Nevertheless, for the soul that is in a different state of consciousness, this period of time might be entirely incomprehensible. Every soul is one of a kind, and the path that it takes after death is determined by a variety of circumstances, including the amount of spiritual growth, the activities that one takes in life, and the conscious attitude that one has toward existence. It is possible for the process of transition to take varying amounts of time for certain souls. Some people are able to effortlessly make their way to the light, while others may remain on this plane for a longer period of time owing to emotional or spiritual concerns that have not been resolved. In any event, the process of transition is an essential component of the trip that the soul takes, and every action that takes place after death is taken with the intention of finishing this phase and transitioning into a new state of existence. While some souls are able to enter the light directly after death, others are unable. Certain individuals continue to exist on the earthly plane, and the reasons for this can vary greatly. At the same time, it is essential to have an understanding that these souls are in a unique stage in which they require time to let go of attachments to earthly things or to settle issues inside themselves. Wandering souls, souls that remain on Earth for the purpose of being with their loved ones, and lost souls are the three primary types of souls that are able to inhabit this planet. To begin, there is the category of wandering souls. Those individuals who were unable to finish their journey and find their way to the light on their own are included in this category. These spirits may become ensnared on the terrestrial realm as a result of strong emotional bonds or conflicts in their lives that have not been resolved. It is possible that they will suffer sentiments of regret, remorse, or other profound emotions that will prevent them from leaving this world. As a rule, wandering spirits require the assistance of a medium or guide in order to be shown the path that leads to the light. The passage of these souls may be challenging because they may be unaware of their own death and continue to be bound to specific locations or individuals. As an illustration, people can want to reside in close proximity to their homes or in locations that hold significant significance in their lives. They are able to come to terms with the fact that their journey on Earth has come to an end and that it is now time to go on with their lives with the assistance of a medium. The spirits that continue to exist for the sake of their loved ones make up the second category. People are curious about the reasons behind why certain souls opt to remain on Earth after death. These souls, driven by profound love and care for their loved ones, make the decision to remain close to them in order to provide support for them during challenging times. It is possible, for instance, that they will feel the grief that your departure has caused and decide to remain, thereby providing support and comfort during times of great need. They are not lost souls who are unable to leave the earthly plane. Rather, they have made the decision to remain in order to carry out a duty of providing protection and direction to the people they care about. Occasionally, these souls continue to be present in order to guide their family or to support them in overcoming difficult problems in life. It is of the utmost importance to acquire the knowledge that these souls have already arrived at the light, despite the fact that they continue to reside on Earth. These individuals, on the other hand, are given the opportunity to return in order to continue providing assistance. The passage of time brings them to the realization that their purpose has been successfully completed, at which point they make their final transition to the world of light, leaving behind a legacy of peace and protection. At long last, we've located the missing souls. These souls are unable to move on because they are unable to overcome intensely unpleasant feelings such as fear or anger, or they may experience feelings of guilt for deeds they carry out during their lifetime and fear that they will be judged or punished after they pass away. The majority of the time, they are not prepared to enter the light because they believe that they must be punished for the faults that they have made. Their inability to move forward is a result of their fear of the unknown and the possibility of being judged for their conduct. It takes time for these souls to discover peace and liberate themselves from the unpleasant emotions they are experiencing. Despite the fact that these souls do not harbor any malicious intent, they require assistance and support in order to conquer their phobias. Due to the fact that they are similar to wandering souls, they frequently seek the assistance of mediums who make it simpler for them to let go of their attachments and negative feelings. The features and motivations that drive each type of souls to continue being on the earthly plane are unique to that category. It is necessary to have the understanding that all souls, regardless of the group to which they belong, will finally make their way to the light by the end of their journey. Despite the fact that this process differs from case to case, it is possible for any soul to finish their trip and ultimately arrive at peace if they are provided with the appropriate direction and support. Sometimes, even after a loved one has passed away, we continue to believe that they are still here in this world. In order to keep us aware of their existence and to send us signals, the souls that continue to be close to us use a variety of different ways to do so. There are times when these indications are not immediately apparent. However, they can present themselves in a variety of ways and circumstances. Numerous individuals have reported experiencing a unique sensation that enables them to comprehend that their departed loved one is nonetheless present in their lives. Let's have a look at some of the most common symptoms that can suggest the presence of a soul, despite the fact that he is no longer physically involved in the situation. The abrupt sensation of presence is one of the most typical signals that people experience. It is possible to get the sensation that someone is standing next to you, despite the fact that you are aware that there is no one there physically. Different sensations such as heat, coolness, or even a gentle touch might be experienced in response to this sensation. Many people have said that during these times they experience a sense of emotional connection with their loved ones who have passed away, as if the soul is attempting to reassure them and provide assistance. A smell that cannot be explained that is associated with the individual who has left could be another significant indicator. It can be the scent of their favorite perfume, the aroma of flowers, or the aroma of food that brings back memories of him or her. It is not uncommon for these fragrances to abruptly come and then vanish just as swiftly, leaving behind the impression that the soul has communicated its presence through a signal that is both familiar and providing comfort. The sudden appearance of objects is just another method by which souls might make their presence known to the world. It is possible, for instance, that you will unexpectedly discover items that are connected to the departed person in the most unexpected places. Photographs, notes, or other personal artifacts that serve as a reminder could be among them. It is not uncommon for these things to show up in spots where you would not have anticipated finding them there. One interpretation of this is that it is a sign that the wishes you to remember it and recall the times that you did share with them. In addition to this, souls are able to communicate with one another through the medium of dreams. Many people assert that they have had dreams in which they saw their loved ones who have passed away, and these dreams are frequently distinct from the typical ones. There is a strong emotional presence of the soul that is sensed in these dreams, and the dream itself leaves a sensation of serenity and tranquility in the dreamer. It is possible for these dreams to be particularly vivid and memorable, which can cause individuals to question if the dream was an attempt by the loved one to impart an important message or simply to ease their suffering. Additionally, it is essential to pay attention to the synchronicities and coincidences that take place in your life that you experience. Take, for instance, the fact that you might hear a song that brings back memories of a loved one, or that you might come across a circumstance that is symbolically connected to them. It might be a statement spoken by someone that makes you feel as though you are in physical contact with the soul of the person who has passed away, or it could be your favorite song that you hear at the exact right time. It is common practice to take these times as indications that the soul is attempting to keep in touch with you and convey a message to you. There is also the possibility that changes in the environment, such as shifts in temperature or the shifting of things for no apparent cause, could be an additional significant indicator. As an illustration, a great number of individuals have reported experiencing a rapid change in temperature within a room or observing objects moving while there is no one present. These occurrences are frequently linked to the presence of a soul that, by doing so, wishes to demonstrate that it is still close to the entity in question. In conclusion, the occurrence of technological faults that cannot be explained is still another possible indicator. There are occasions when people make the observation that their mobile phones, computers, or other electronic equipment begin to exhibit peculiar behaviors. There is no need to manually turn them on or off. Suddenly, there are strange noises or malfunctions that arise. One possible interpretation of these occurrences is that they are the soul's attempt to attract attention through the various avenues of interaction that are now available to it. Despite the fact that these indicators may be subtle and not always evident, they have the potential to become a genuine source of comfort for individuals who are willing to pay attention to them. Even after their physical presence has ended, souls can continue to have an impact on our lives, and the indications they leave behind can let us experience their love and care even when we are no longer physically present with them. In spite of the fact that it has passed away physically, every soul continues its journey onto another level. It is essential to keep in mind that this journey does not come to an end at the moment of departure, and that many spirits find methods to remain close to us, offering us support and direction. Individual souls experience the passage into the light in a manner that is distinct from one another, based on their emotional state, the attachments they have, and the unfinished business they have. Certain individuals may experience a soul transit in an instant, while others may take additional time and assistance to do this. Every soul, regardless of how difficult the journey may be, has the desire to finish its journey on earth and arrive at a place of calm. There are times when they need the assistance of mediums or spiritual guides in order to conquer their anxieties and uncertainties. Nonetheless, in the end, every single one of them will discover the light, cast off their attachments to the material world, and proceed with their journey towards a realm that is more harmonious. Although the clues that souls leave us can be subtle and easy to overlook, individuals who are open to seeing them become an essential source of solace and support for those who are able to recognize them. By experiencing the presence of a loved one who has passed away, by sensing their essence in a perfume that appears to float suddenly, by having a dream that is so vivid that it seems real, or by being confronted with unexpected happenings that fill us with surprise, we are given a powerful reminder that the connection that binds us to them does not go away. It is beyond the realm of death itself. In a love that is beyond our ability to express, it is enhanced by something that cannot be touched or seen. The experience of being so near to someone, of being protected in silence, provides us with solace and encourages us to view death not as a conclusion, but rather as a gateway to something more significant, to forever. There is always a method for souls to contact with these of us. Sometimes they accomplish this by sending messages that are so delicate that they appear to be a whisper, and other times they do it by means of moments that are so intense that they cause us to pause and think. Despite the fact that we are not always conscious of their presence, they are constantly around, keeping watch, showing concern and accompanying us. Each soul travels along its own unique path. There are those who rapidly emerge into the light, while others remain for a slightly longer period of time, perhaps in order to settle unfinished business, leave messages, or just ensure that their loved ones are at peace. We are connected to something far more profound through this mystery, which is brimming with love and purpose. Our viewpoint shifts when we realize that death is not the conclusion of the journey of the soul. Rather, it is a stage along the path that leads to eternity. It extends an invitation to us to love with fervor and without any reservations, to overcome the problems that weigh on our hearts, and to treasure each moment more than we have in the past. As a result, it serves as a reminder that the only things that truly endure are the ties that we create and the love that we give and receive. How will we be remembered? Not for the riches we've gathered or the titles we've earned, but for the love we've given, the gentle moments of compassion, the kindness extended when no one was watching, the warmth we've brought into the hearts of those who walk beside us. In a world that moves swiftly and often forgets, how can we plant seeds of love that will continue to bloom long after we're gone? This is a question not just of legacy, but of purpose. Even in the ache of loss, especially there, we find the whisper of something enduring. Though their physical presence may have faded, those who have passed from this world do not vanish. Their energy lingers, their love remains. In unexpected moments, a song, a scent, a sudden memory, something within us stirs and we realize they are still with us. They speak to us, not in words but in signs. And in those sacred signs, there is comfort, there is hope. They remind us in their quiet way, you are not alone. But to hear them, we must open the doors of our hearts. We must become still. We must soften. It takes courage to listen in silence, to recognize meaning and subtlety. Yet when we do, we discover that the veil between this life and the next is not as thick as it seems. We are connected through memory, through love, through the unseen thread that binds soul to soul across time and space. So today I invite you to pause, to reflect, to enter into a space of deep introspection and remembrance. Think of those who have gone before you, not just in mourning, but in gratitude. What parts of them live on in you? What values, what stories, what laughter, what dreams? These are not just echoes, they are living legacies, and you, by the way you live, can continue their song. Let us honor them, not just with flowers or tears, but with lives well lived, with choices made in love, with hearts kept open, with a legacy we will one day leave behind for others to carry. And as we hold them in our hearts, let us join in a prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the eternal bond of love that defies death and transcends time. We are grateful for the spirits who once walked with us and who now walk beside us in ways we cannot always see. May your divine light guide those souls still journeying toward you, and may it also shine upon those of us still here, learning how to live with both presence and absence in our lives. Give us grace to live with gratitude. Teach us to love without fear. Strengthen us to trust that at the end of this journey, we too will be welcomed home into the embrace of your infinite love. May peace, deep, unwavering, unexplainable, fill our hearts and carry us forward, because love, true love, does not die. It becomes part of the fabric of the universe. It becomes the light that shines through us. The connections forged in love are not broken by death. They are transformed. They are carried on in each act of kindness we perform, each life we touch, each time we choose to believe in something greater than ourselves. Let this reflection not be a farewell, but a call to live more intentionally. Let it fill you with the courage to love deeper, speak kinder, and give freely. Know that every small step you take in love ripples across generations, that each day is a chance to carry forward what was beautiful in those we've lost, that we are all threads in a greater tapestry, and the way we weave our lives matters. May you leave behind a trail of warmth, of grace, of love, so vibrant that it lights the way for those who come after you. And may you always remember you are loved, you are not alone, and the soul never truly says goodbye.